Hello.
That was so funny. It comes up. I was like, where is everybody?
I know. I was like, "Where's Shannon?"
Man, our panic. Journeyers, we panic when we don't see each other, when we don't see you. We really want to be together in
Yes,
community with you.
we totally do. Totally do.
How are you, Luke?
Hey, I'm well. How are you?
I'm well too. I am in New Orleans.
Ooh.
These are the New Orleans beads that are back there. They're
Ah.
all, and those are the New Orleans chairs.
Ooh.
Yes, and these are the New Orleans doors.
Oh.
Not many have seen the New Orleans doors,
I
but
have
these are
not.
them.
I love it so much.
Oh my gosh. We are here, friends. And we, as always, we're talking about improv. We're talking about drama therapy. We're
Yeah.
talking about, there's a new, because it's July, there
Yeah.
is a new theme.
Mm, yeah.
And the theme is reliability, Luke.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to tell you, I struggle with it. Okay, I struggle. I'm a struggler. I'm struggling, and it's fine. And we're going to talk about things that have to do with reliability right now. Let's see.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, how does improv teach us to be reliable? Is that even possible? Ah!
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love how it's written. It's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I write
so
these for you.
thanks. Yeah, I love acting now. This is fun. Okay, so of course I got questions with this question and this premise and everything like that. How does improv teach us to be reliable? Yeah, like I mean, I'm always curious about the context of things.
Mhm.
And so, but I want to start off with like, looking at like the context of improv. Like, are we looking at like, um, kind of advanced level student that are learning to like make a really good scene with somebody else? Or is it, yeah, like, I mean, in the improv context, I'm curious about that.
It's good. Okay, so in
Yeah.
the improv context, I'm talking about like not greener improv, people who have been doing improv for a little while,
Got it.
and the, what do you call it, the resistance
Hmm.
that reliability that comes with reliability, like it feels like
Mm.
on an improv stage we are challenged or encouraged to be spontaneous, use the word spontaneous. And I
Yeah.
feel like the word spontaneity and the word reliable sometimes have a hard time um, coalescing, working together. And so
Yeah.
I'm thinking about those in the improv context, those people who are like, who have done improv for a while
Hmm.
and are like, well, people expect this of me on stage.
Yeah. Mm.
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's more about like the individual improviser being reliable rather
Yes.
than creating a reliable scene with somebody else. Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. I also want to just say, journeyers who are joining us, please, hello. Yes. Yeah. One. Hello. Welcome. Glad you're here. And also, if you have questions or concerns about, what it means to be reliable in improv on or off the stage, or just like things you want to relate to about it, write it in the comments and we
Yes,
will
please.
we will answer it live because we are live
We're
now.
live.
But yeah, oh wow. So like, reliable as an improviser, that reminds me of when I was first growing up in the improv scene. So
This is great. I love this. Yes,
um
please.
like I saw like a couple different improvisers that I was like, they were in the reliable realm. One of which was Aiden Kirshner,
Mhm.
and she was just like every time she was on stage, she would always like make a very clear, welcoming place. That I feel like as a newer improviser, I'd be like, oh, cool, I can like throw her anything, and
Mm.
happens, and like um, and but yeah, it just made me feel a little bit more relaxed about like coming into it. And so, but the qualities that stemmed from that reliability was like, okay, I know that they've been doing it for years. I
Mhm.
know that they're a teacher, but also like how they perform, what they do is that they really listening and understanding. They show listening and understanding. They show this kind of like, okay, cool, I'm going to observe and I'm going to find a playful way to play with whatever you're offering on stage, either through physicality or the words that you're saying or the emotions that you're giving, anything and everything like that. So that kind of, I saw that.
Interesting. That's interesting. Like you did it. Mhm. Done. It's over. For those of
Done.
you in the
Cool.
chat,
Okay. Yeah.
we're talking about reliability. Talk to us in the chat.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
can I go further?
yeah.
Okay, so like, and I think that's what we do in our shows, in our live shows, and virtual shows too. But I feel like we really create that atmosphere because it, how I see that happening is that lots of times we invite audience members to add in ideas and to add in different types of performance and everything like that to really and it's really cool to see people just unfold and be like, oh, I can approach this material in this way. I didn't think I could, or like, wow, yeah, like, and so like, and you and Aaron especially, like, just really, like, like, make sure that that space is kept and maintained and supportive of everyone.
Yeah, you're so good. So good. Because I don't think especially on the improv stage, I don't I hadn't put that like wash on it. The idea that, hey, we need to set up parameters so that the play can be reliable. We can rely on, especially what you're talking about, when we are bringing in safety, when we're saying, okay, look, these are the parameters. We're feeling safe. We're feeling like we can be vulnerable. These types of
Yeah,
things that have
yeah.
to be set up before we can play, before we can just sort of play in the box.
Hmm. Yeah, and like, and I think also what happens, during either the virtual shows or which are awesome, or they're really cool. You check them out. Or in-person shows like I think what provides safety a lot is the uh, it's just like the repeated invitation in different ways about like, hey, like, why don't we try this out, like we're improvisers, we're making up stuff on the spot. If it doesn't work out, we'll try something new, and this is how we can be flexible with it, and you're still you know we're uh we're as adults, we're playing with this idea, we're figuring it out together, and so that kind of creates a good safety as well, being like, you're not just by yourself figuring out this idea alone.
Yes, it's so good to hear and think about it that way, because when we are doing our shows, whether it's live, whether they're live or virtual, I often am thinking of, if we're talking about reliability, like what am I doing so that Aaron feels supported? What am I doing so that Luke feels supported, or the team, right? The other improvisers. But what you're talking about is the audience, which what the audience,
Yeah.
people really love to be like, the audience, I don't do anything for the audience. But in our shows, we go above and beyond to set a world, an environment, so that the audience can play with us and feel safe in playing with us. And they are relying on us to set that foundation. And it's just, we do that. You said it at the beginning of this show, with this woman. Oh, she was, oh no, it's slipping from me. It's slipping. She was setting up an environment of safety
Yeah.
for everyone. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think. Setting up an environment for the. She was showing. That's what you were saying.
Yes.
She was
Yes. Yeah.
showing it. She was
Yeah.
showing safety by being
Yeah.
safe. And so when I'm setting up safety for you, then our audience feels like, oh, I see Luke setting up safety for Shannon. I see Shannon setting up safety for Aaron. Aaron's setting up safety for Emily. If they're setting up safety for everyone out on stage, then me off stage, maybe I also feel safe to play with them, which is what we do in our live shows. You should come.
Yeah. I really like the fact that you brought up the word safety, and I think that's so important, especially with reliability. And just making sure that people feel comfortable and safe to play, because playing as an adult is tough. Because that's just kid stuff. It's like, well, yes, it is, but also, we learn a lot through play as adults as well. Take trivia night and stuff like that. We learn a lot through that,
Yes.
But also through improv, you learn a lot of different social skills within yourself as well as with other people. Through that. And if you are in a safe environment, you're going to be learning a lot. You're going to be more open to learning more. Yeah,
absolutely. And like in this question, well, how does improv do it when we're learning about how to take care of each other? We're learning simultaneously how to be reliable in that way. So just the idea of, when we ask sort of someone to do something, actually in my last show with Emily, she was saying, you can bump somebody to sing, set up somebody to sing. And that isn't singing, spontaneous, breaking out into spontaneous song is I love it. I'll break out into spontaneous song.
Me too.
But it's terrifying for some. It's terrifying. And we learn to set people up to succeed. That is what we learn. And when we are in this practice of setting somebody up to succeed, we become reliable in that way, as a person who is not going to just toss somebody something that they are completely unavailable for or unaware of. I'm not going to talk, if somebody's terrified of singing, I'm not going to ask them to sing or set them up to do so. I'm going to set somebody else up to do so. And I just, something in that, how does improv teach us to be reliable? Something in that, off the stage, I feel like we do the same thing. Like I know the community or the friends of mine who are going, I know that if my husband is craving a snickerdoodle, I'm not going to make that snickerdoodle. That's silly. I'm going to ask Luke to make that snickerdoodle.
And I will. I love making snickerdoodles. Those are fun. Yeah.
And so getting into that, and I'll say this last thing, well, two things. Getting into that that habit of setting others up to succeed is one thing that we learn. And how do we learn as far as what improv teaches us? And there was one more thing, I'm always just going to say the second thing first. I'm going to stop being like, there's two things I want to say.
Yeah.
And then say the first thing first, because I always forget it. But here it is. It's in little snippets.
Yeah.
That's how this helps us, because when we are learning to be reliable in 3-minute spurts, right? Like, okay, I'm going to set this person up to do this amazing thing. I'm going to set this person up to do this amazing thing. And we're doing that consistently and quickly and over again over the course of a show, or the course of just going to class, these types of things. We're practicing that muscle, exercising that muscle.
Yeah. I'm
trying, Luke.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
But yeah, we're exercising it, and it helps us to train ourselves to create space for people to rely on us, to know that we are going to support them the way they need to be supported.
Yeah. I want to continue on with that with consistency. So like and what like it can show up in a couple different ways, especially with improv and especially with our shows too. Like just like presenting the information, asking questions to the audience, presenting information, asking questions to the audience. So we get into a good pace and a consistent pace, be like a rhythm that goes back and forth about stuff. Another thing that kind of shows up, I was doing a show last night, and like reoccurring characters, that kind of shows consistency, because you can see like how these reoccurring characters interact with this new phenomenon that happens, this new situation, activity, and then going back to be like, okay, and so you're building reliability between you and the audience, because like the parameters of what this character is going to do, but maybe what's this new activity going to be about. So
yes, the audience thing is a big thing. Like we're talking about that, but I wonder, my question to you was, in your mind, who does the audience represent when we're talking about being reliable off stage?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I guess I know somewhere in my head. I was like, I'll ask Luke and then I'll jump on it.
No, it's great. So that reliability goes internal. So like you are your audience. You are with you. And so it's like, okay, how can I be reliable for myself? How can I how can I show up for myself? How can I support myself? I think a lot of times, that's kind of where personality comes into place, about like, okay, cool. I usually wouldn't trying this new food, but at the same time, maybe I do want to try it, so like, but I can go back to the same foods, so like, oh, that's cool. It's venturing something new. But like, it comes back to like morning routine, like you wake up, brush your teeth, take a shower, eat, feed the pets, and drive to work. That's, the consistency is the reliability that kind of like goes hand in hand. That can show up a lot, as well as like, following through with what you say, about like, yeah, I'll finish this report tomorrow, to speak in very boring business terms. Or even like, hey, with friendships, being like, okay, cool, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And if you have that kind of relationship, then you can, it can build off from there. But I think consistency is a huge thing to provide reliability.
Dang. Journeyers. Did you for a second think that Luke Wallens was going to be like, you have to show up for yourself? That's what, did you think that? Because I didn't think that. And then my mind, right? The show, you have to be reliable for number one.
It's hard because
it is.
There's like I've got stuff and that I write down and be like, I want to just rearrange that.
Yeah, in that, this is what I do now when I have these. I just in that. What? Wow. It is hard, I think, because you want to show up, and improv tells us that we should show up for others first. Right. Improv tells us that, and American society likes to tell us that we should show up for others. And I'm not talking just family or friends. I'm talking work. I'm talking anything else that's not you. Even things that are placed upon you that you think you should want, like exercise. Yeah, I guess I have to go to the gym. I guess I have to be vegan. I love you, vegans. I'm really trying.
We love vegans here.
But improv even tells us, like, listen to what this person is saying, respond to what they want. What offer did they put out? Go with that offer. What is in front of you? What is external? And how can you be a reliable person for other people, and other improvisers on the stage? But when we're talking, here we go. We only have a few more minutes, but here we go. When we're talking about being queer, when we're talking about being global majority, when we're talking about being femme, women, whatever, in those communities, showing up for other people is already happening all the time. Like, I'm showing up, I'm being socialized to show up for other people so much that I forget I really do have to show up for myself. I have to say to myself, no, I don't like it when this happens. And when it does happen, I'm going to speak up, right? So I can protect myself and show up for me. Who's going to show up for me?
And being and finding reliability for yourself with that. I also want to say that, like, one thing that figuring out that I struggle with a lot is, like, my own schedule in terms of, like, scheduling time for myself, because as you were talking about, like, showing up for everybody and supporting everybody, cool, great. But like, it's just like, as a teacher, I do that a lot. So, showing up for myself, I really have to schedule at that time, for myself, or else, like, I just, it's like I get lost in the mix of it.
Right. Yeah. And I think improv helps us do that when your improv teacher is Luke Wallens or Shannon Stott.
Yeah.
your improv teacher, your improv instructor is going to ask you, what offers did you make just now? Like, keep those offers on stage, right? What did you bring to the stage that you want to keep? How do we schedule time for ourselves on stage, right? Like, the way you schedule time is by making an offer. That offer is yours. It's your little offer that you made, or big. It's your offer that you made. And how can you continue to honor that offer, even when other people are making offers that you want? You're like, maybe I'll just leave this offer.
But Bye. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
just leave it,
Yeah.
and I'll go and I'll help you with your offer.
Yeah.
But be
I
true to yourself.
I have I know we have a few minutes, but can we try something?
Oh my God. Yes. Not only can we try something, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Ah,
I love it so much.
ah,
Ah,
come on.
yeah.
Come on. We haven't missed one yet.
Oh, yes. I love it every time. The glitter. It's great. It's just it's
We need some. We need
earful of
some.
glitter. It's great. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Anyway. So I never really does feel like that. But speaking of this, so we're gonna take an improv exercise that we usually teach in 101, but we're gonna modify it towards reliability. So we're gonna do the yes and exercise, and we're just gonna say yes and because going through the levels will be a lot. But we're just gonna say yes and we're gonna see if we can make the most clear picture of an event. We can do a birthday party, but we can also do another event. Shannon, what do you think? What event would you like to do?
Ooh, let's do it. Let's do a pool party. It's
Pool
coming.
party.
Pool
Cool.
parties.
Okay, great. So this is kind of an exercise that we're looking at like reliability through the reliability lens. And I know we're improvising, so we're making up stuff on the spot. But at the same time, let's see if we can, yes and our way to making the clearest, most reliable pool party ever. And what does that mean for ourselves? And what does that mean for everybody? And I
Okay.
want to focus on the self too. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry. And I just want to set it up for our viewers that we're just going to say one person's going to say a line, another person's going to say a line, and we're just going to begin our lines with yes and then continuing on to make a clear pool party picture.
Listen, we're gonna do this just because it makes me feel like we're somewhere different now. All right. Okay. I'll just start very basic. Let's throw a pool party.
Yes, and let's have it at 2 p.m. In the afternoon.
Okay. Yes, and let's serve vegan hot dogs and regular hot dogs.
Yes, and let's make sure that the grill is on and ready to go, so we can just throw those on as quickly as possible and express grill them, but they still taste good. Not gassy or whatever.
No, we don't want gassy.
Yeah, right.
Gassy hot dogs. Yes, and let's only invite 10 people. Guest list 10.
Yes, and I would love it if they were people, as well as significant others as well.
Yes. Yes, and let's have a time where we get together and say what we're thankful for at this pool party.
Yes, and I'm a little nervous about that, and I want to share that before we start.
Ooh, yes, and let's put that on the invitation.
Yes, and it'll be like, hey, we're gonna try something new, and we invite you to try it new with us.
Yes. Yes, and let's create a zone at the pool party that's fun, a little like table or something for people who, if they don't want to participate, they can like hang out near the pool.
Yes, and we can also have like a casual like writing notes of confidence and love, but they're anonymous, so nobody has to be like, I wrote that, so yeah.
Yes. And let's have margaritas after that.
Yes, and scene.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that's cool.
That's great.
Yeah,
Reliability.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. I love that. The prompt for, "Hey, make this yes and as clear and as reliable for yourself as well as other people,"
Hmm.
is such a big exploration, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like we're doing these things, we're making these offers, and at the same time, just like you were like, that's an interesting offer, giving thanks, Thanksgiving pool party. That's
yeah,
an offer. Yes, let's do that, sounds good, but in order to protect my peace, right?
yeah, yeah.
Right, I want to be sure that nobody is forced to do this.
Right,
And
right.
there's so many things in the reliability,
Hmm.
right there, because as a friend, as we're making this pool party, one, I feel like I'm relying on you to support my idea as far as the pool party,
Hmm.
but and to support this idea as far as like giving thanks, right? But also, when you're saying that is a great idea, that makes me feel heard, seen. And in order for me to accommodate that, I would like it to look like this.
Hmm.
And there is so, it's exactly what we were talking about before we went in, right? Yeah, absolutely. It's like, I am making an offer. I, Luke, am making an offer to change the thing. And I really need to stick to that. And then Shannon's job is to still create an environment in which that thing can exist, right?
Hmm.
Or I want this Thanksgiving thing, and Luke's job is to, okay, I can I'm checking myself. I can get down with that, but I need to make an environment in which I need to create an environment in which that can happen so that I feel safe and heard and seen as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Safety was a big thing that came up, and I pulled myself into it a little bit more than I usually do with improv, and
mm,
about like, how would I, Luke, feel about going into this world, like what safety do I need, when I'm going to this, and like, I want to have fun, I want to have some margaritas,
mhm.
but also like I just want to like, like, and share, and like, I felt safe with like, okay, we're just gonna have like 10 people, that's it, so I'm just like, oh,
Yes,
phew, it's not like,
with
all
all the
over the place,
people.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
I also did that. I tried to be as like Shannon brain as I could. And it was nice actually to have you push back on this thanks thing, because I could feel in in my body.
Yeah.
What's,
Ah,
right?
I know.
What's wrong with saying what we're thankful for?
I was
Like
like,
what's and like
I don't know.
like I
I
don't
didn't,
know.
like,
Yeah.
and that to me, like, like, I was like, I feel a little bit more vulnerable than I thought I would by going into this. And so, like, I
Mhm.
need to figure out the safety parameters with you,
Yes.
to yeah, to aim for reliability still, and to show up for myself in terms of like, okay, these are the parameters that I need, and I'm speaking that, but also like, to so I can be as reliable as possible in the group setting about like, okay, cool, as long as we all know like this is as much as I can give, uh and everything like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Oof, we're also relying on the friendship. There's
Yeah.
some, we're like relying on each other because we trust. There's,
Yeah.
man, we didn't even get in. We've got journey here, so we can't. But
Yeah.
there's trust there, right? We trust our relationship. We trust our friendship. And if you're on the stage, you're trusting your partners to create with you, to help you make the choices or stick to the choices that you need to make to feel comfortable.
And same thing, but off the stage, and you're learning to figure out how to trust yourself. So, yeah.
Listen, friends, you know what's coming. Just Luke said it so well. Trust yourself on and
off the stage.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye. Bye.